can maintain anonymity. Like, damn, I even think some of these women's friends should not know who their love interest is until a certain point because they're
So,
messing these relationships
Well,
up
I
so
think
bad.
it has a lot to do with knowing your partner, right? Because you may have a partner who is comfortable with social media and won't mind taking pictures and you posting it. But I think, like I was saying earlier with the conversation that we were having, his thing is have the conversation, but you don't necessarily have to use us as the example. You have the experience, so speak to the experience, but not necessarily to our relationship. And that's his thing. He is a very private person. So for me, I have two different social media platforms. That's why I created the mistaken one from my ones that I have with friends and family. And he's in the friends and family, and those are I mean, they know who he is, so that's not the issue. But for him, he's like, he doesn't like posting or anything like that, so I have to respect, his boundary when it comes to that. But there are other people like my brother, and other people that I know that are males that don't mind. They like being, taking pictures with them and their family and stuff like that. They're okay with that.
so I think mistaken, because I love that you gave that example. I think because he's more private, that makes more sense because he's the leader of the household.
Mm-hmm.
The issue is like, as a single woman still looking for my husband, is that the men want to be up there with the hashtag couple goals pictures. But I grew up in a culture where you protect what's important. You make that private. It's not for everybody to know. But with this kind of modern dating culture, I'm now being accused of, like, not now, but like it's come up in conversation of like, well, what are you trying to hide? You're still, you must be entertaining men in your DM. And like, that's
Gotcha.
just not how I move, even when I'm not in a relationship. But it's so much unnecessary pressure to like showcase a relationship that, one, is not a marriage, and two, like, I wouldn't put my marriage, like, I have girlfriends who've been married for more than a decade. I've never met their husband. I have no idea what this man looks like if we cross paths in the street. Like, that's the kind of culture I come from, where there's a certain level of privacy. You don't bring, like, I'm Muslim, right? So men and women don't really mingle too much. You keep the genders separate, right? And it creates a certain order. So like posting your husband on social media, like, unless you're a social media influencer that's specifically family oriented, I don't know women that post their partners. I don't know men that post their wives. And there's no secrecy because everybody knows you're married. But I'm like, it seems like the men who are available in my age range seem to be like adapting this whole, like, well, we need to be on, if it's not on social media, then it's not real.
Mm. I
Girl,
wouldn't even
don't
know
put
how to.
listen, no, because then when you break up with him and you be with somebody else, all the people will be in your business. Like, oh, she done went from one man to the other one.
I
Girl,
don't do it. I still won't do, I won't compromise on it. So I haven't done it. I don't do it.
Yeah,
if he ain't your
I'm not
husband,
even. So that makes a lot of sense. Now that I think of it, good God, sometimes I'm so glad I got out of this damn game, boy.
Me
I
too.
mean,
I
shit, like
look in my
I
mind.
would
I
be
be thinking I
slapping
still
people, giving
know.
me these type of problems. I'd be like, what the? I'd be snapping on people, kicking them out of my house. When are you gonna post me on? Get out of my house, Joe. Post you on Instagram. She.
I be
All right.
thinking that what I know will work and it still work. But the more and more that I'm hearing about the dating space and all of this kind of stuff, I just I don't know. I couldn't do it.
So, so I'm a problem solver by nature. So what I would have done is put a block on Instagram in the house on the Wi-Fi server, so we wouldn't have to discuss this shit in the house. Like, we just not gonna deal with this at all. But Trigger Mike, was that your real voice you was just using?
It is. It is. I'm joking.
I knew it.
No, the funny thing is when you speak Yoruba, I can't speak it in this voice. I have to speak it in my Nigerian voice. So
Can you say something else again in your?
No, you ain't about to use me for no joke. No, thank you. No, thank you. But Inaz, this is really interesting though, because I'm trying to think, okay, what if somebody said that to me? And then now that I think about it, the last girl I dated before dated before my wife, all right, one of the last girls said something like that. She said something like that. I thought it was silly. She got really, really upset and let it go. But naturally, if I'd have kept on dating, it would have came up again.
So, okay.
But she wanted you guys to post your relationship, and you were saying, no, I don't want.
And I'm such a serial monogamous type that you will feel like you my girlfriend, right? So she was like, well, let's take pictures. And I was like, where you posting that? All right, well, that's cool. And I'm like, what?
So here's the thing, right? Is like, I think that behavior, it's not rational, but is more normal when it comes from women, right? Women feel like, if you're posting couple pictures, then like you're signaling that you're not available, as if that's supposed to stop men from cheating. It doesn't. In fact, it might.
In fact,
yeah, I get that, right? But I think now it's really strange to me, my personal opinion, it's really strange to hear men have that complaint. Like, I don't know what to do with it. Like, is it really a red flag? Is it just the way the times are going? Is it just like, it's really
so that's why I'm like, wow. Men, I think we're starting to notice now that men have a serious distrust of women, because as technology has showed us and more things are coming out, more stats are coming out about women and more men are speaking up. Shan actually said something great on King Talk. It was like one of the most profound things, or one of the revelations I have. He said when he was coming up, you only had the dudes in your neighborhood to talk to and compare notes with about women. So it's just dudes in the same family, same friend group. We have the entire world to compare with notes with about women now, and we realize y'all are actually worse than us. Many women are worse. You're more scandalous than we could ever be, because you control access to sex, right? So you can entertain multiple suitors. It's way easier for you to get interested parties, all of that. So I kind of understand why men would, especially in the Instagram generation, if you have an IG, which is the devil's playground for this type of stuff, right? If you have an IG, there might be some insecurity there about you entertaining people by not making it IG official. I just think the only way to combat something like that is to be just as aggressive on how to validate them while still maintaining your boundaries.